Welcome back to Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Brady Johnson. Here with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the brother of Cowboys tight end, Jake Ferguson. Ben Ferguson. It's been a minute, but we are back with another video, and it's on NFL Power Rankings. Yes, and it's probably going to be a good one. We were pre, we were pre doing it earlier, and we had some disagreements on some teams, but it'll be. I think it's going to be a fun show today.
Yeah.
Well, either way, how are you? How are you doing today, Bennett? How are you?
Tired. Working like a dog, and then this is my first of 5 days straight. So
First of five. Tough.
yeah,
Tough. Tough. You can't wait. I'm off for the next 2 days. So,
that's awesome.
bro, all right, we're going to start with the NFL Power Rankings. We're going to go, we'll give you our top 15.
We'll hit them all. We'll hit them all. We might not say something about all of them.
We're the top 5 from 15 and 1, we're going to start talking about.
Let's start 32. Let's do 32 down, and then we'll get to the top because the top's more interesting than the worst.
I know. No, I'm just saying. Once 1 through 15, we'll talk about as we get.
We will.
As we get down. As we get down. But we're gonna start at 32, and Ben, I'm gonna start with you. Who is your 32?
Okay. So I think how I want to do this is I want to go 32 to like 28, 26, something like that. Do 28 to 32 to 28, and we stop at 28. And then if we have anything, we can go after that.
Yeah.
All right. So my 32 to 28, 32, I have the AZ Cardinals. 31, I have the Miami Dolphins. 30, I have the Jets. 29, I have the Raiders. And at 28, I have the Browns.
So mine's a little bit similar to yours. I have 32, the Arizona Cardinals. 31, the Miami Dolphins. I have 30 as the Cleveland Browns. 29 as the New York Jets. And I actually have the Atlanta Falcons here at 28. So.
Okay. Falcons are. Hold up. What am I missing? I have 32 things. What am I missing?
Did you put a team twice?
If I put a team twice, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think you might have put a team twice. Could have done that, but it's okay. Either way, we'll get to it when we have a chance.
I did. Okay, but yeah, no, the Falcons were in my next group.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, they were in my next group. So I think we see them pretty similarly. I'm assuming the Raiders are probably somewhere in that next group for you as well. These are the teams. Again, I don't want to say that they're the bottom feeders for a reason because the Saints were in this year. We were bottom feeders in the draft, but these are the teams where they have been very mismanaged. And like Cleveland, I would love to say that Cleveland should be out of this top section. But the fact that they just traded their greatest player that they've ever had, sorry, Jim Brown, but they traded their greatest player that they've ever had to the LA Rams for pennies on the dollar and my favorite defensive player. But pennies on the dollar, as much as I love Jared Verse, he ain't Myles Garrett. He will never be Myles Garrett. So
you wouldn't.
And then the Deshaun Watson thing, I mean, we won't be able to. If Cleveland wins a Super Bowl, we might whenever Deshaun Watson's not there anymore, they might win a Super Bowl within the next 10 years. If they do, we might forgive and forget about Deshaun Watson. But that is the worst contract that has ever been given out in sports history.
Yeah,
it's not even close. I mean. And so we can't forgive Cleveland for that. They will always be shot down the rankings. Even if they go undefeated, people will still be like, yeah, but that Deshaun Watson contract.
Yeah. And I'm going to agree with you with some of these. These are the bottom feeders of the NFL, but I don't blame some of these teams. Like Cleveland's got the pieces around them. It's just I look at the quarterback room. I don't like the quarterback room. They got a new coaching staff. I don't know how that's going to go. You just said they did lose the best player they've ever had in their franchise. No offense to Jim Brown. You lost the best player you ever had. And then I look at the Miami Dolphins. You just got a hole. You got some talent out there, but you don't have no receivers. If you had a receiving core, I would be thinking different right now because now I'd be like, oh wait, you got Malik Willis who's unproven. He's unproven. Yes, we know he's unproven. But you have Devon Achane. They have a decent O line. They have. I don't know how that defense is going to look, but also you don't have nobody to help Malik Willis throw the football to. So
I think the problem with Miami was, and this started almost 6 years ago, when Mike McDaniel was hired as their head coach, and they went, all right, what do we have that no one else has? Speed. We get Tyreek Hill. We drafted Jalen Waddle. We have Devon Achane. O-line, we don't need an offensive line. Our quarterback's going to be healthy forever. We got Tua Tagovailoa back there. He's going to be amazing. Defensively, we bring in Bradley Chubb. They drafted who was homeboy that they had? Jalen Phillips.
yeah,
They had
Bradley Chubb.
who they ended up trading.
Bradley Chubb.
They had Jalen Ramsey. They had a crazy defense, like a really low-key good one for about 2 years that literally rivaled Josh Allen's offensive power with the Bills. They went bar for bar multiple times in the playoffs.
I want to piggyback off of you too. You also got to think when they made that hire 6 years ago, who was also their former head coach who had got all these defensive pieces to come to Miami, and they were still on contract. That's why their defense was at least top 15, top 16 defense in the NFL. It's because Brian Flores was there and made this defense what they were. And he had all these players that he drafted himself and he wanted. That's why they're so good.
And let us not forget, the reason that they disagreed is because ownership wanted Tua Tagovailoa and he wanted Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
That's where this entire thing, if he had just gone, you know what, Tua's going to be our guy, and he'd stuck with it, we could have had a completely different outcome where they could have won a damn Super Bowl. But instead, they went with a mindset, their general manager deserved to be fired, because you cannot tell me that in the over 100 years at that point in time that the NFL had been in existence, that O-line had not played a key factor in every single Super Bowl that has ever happened and playoff run. Will Campbell, one of the only reasons the Patriots truly struggled is because Will Campbell was playing hurt and because he has small arms and he's a little T-Rex. That is the only reason that they truly struggled. It was because they were able to have this. Seattle was able to rush off of that side the entire Super Bowl. And instead of, let's invest in this O-line. Maybe in 2021, even though we now have Tyreek Hill, instead of going out and drafting Jalen Waddle, what if we went and we got Penei Sewell? Penei Sewell, a guy who is a freaking all-pro, who will probably end up in the Hall of Fame and who has left-right tackle versatility. That guy is one of the greatest players in the NFL right now.
Probably is the best tackle in the NFL right now, too.
Probably one of. Trent Williams is still in the league. But
yeah, but he just moved from right tackle to left tackle. So, I mean, of course, we're going to say Trent Williams.
You know me. Well, Tristan Wirfs also exists. He's also incredible. But, again, we could be looking at the Dolphins completely differently if their mindset wasn't we could be faster than everybody. Because guess what they figured out? Hey, maybe our safety doesn't need to play this close. Maybe we could put our safety back a little bit further and cover so that way when our corners get burned, our safety's there to break up the pass before it even gets there. Or better yet, because they don't have an O-line, let's just blitz the hell out of Tua, and then Tua's going to literally get a concussion and almost die. So, like Miami, I would feel bad for Miami if they had legitimately tried with their offensive line before now, but because they haven't and Mike McDaniels is gone, hallelujah. We might actually get some good O-line play this year. Finally. But then they went out and they got Caden Proctor, which makes no sense because Caden Proctor's not even that good of an O-line. Whatever. I'm getting on a soapbox that I don't need to get on.
But like to piggyback off of you, yes, you're right. But when Brian Flores was there, everybody always slept on him on his offense. But I remember his offense being one of the high-powered offenses in football because he'd always find a decent offensive coordinator. And he also had a good, decent offensive line. So that's all I'm going to say. Brian Flores, I don't know why you decided to get rid of Brian Flores. It's a stupid decision. I thought you should have kept Brian Flores as your head coach. I mean, he led you to a playoff game with Matt freaking Moore as your quarterback.
Yep. Yeah, what a guy.
It's crazy.
All right, 27 to 20, 27 to 23.
27 to 23. Yep.
Okay. At 27, so 28 was the Cleveland Browns. So 27, I have the Minnesota Vikings. 26, I have the Atlanta Falcons. 25, I have the Tennessee Titans. 24, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. And then 23, I have the San Francisco 49ers.
So at 27 for me, I have the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
26, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I know it's a little low, but
okay, we'll talk about it.
20. What am I at? 24.
25.
25. I have the Cincinnati Bengals. And then I'm gonna go. 24. I'm gonna go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And then 23, I'm gonna round it out with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
23.
So I think so. I have the Cowboys. I have the Cowboys 10 spots higher. I have them at 13. I also have the Colts quite a bit higher than you have them. And then I know I have the Vikings a lot lower than you have them. We see the Bengals about the same. And then I know I have the 49ers a lot lower than you have them as well. So is of those teams, which one would you rather me talk about on why I have them lower? It could be the Vikings. It could be the 49ers.
Vikings.
Okay. All right. So I'll go with the Vikings. 49ers, don't get me started on them. Seriously. Like, I could stand here all day and complain.
Well, the 49ers, I get why you put down here because of injuries. I get it.
Yep. And I want to see their product on the field. So right now.
I get it.
Yep. But Vikings, it's a lot of the same stuff. There were high expectations last year where everyone was like, hey, listen, we saw what he was able to do with Darnold 2 years ago. What can't he do as a head coach? I'm talking about O'Connell here. When he J.J. McCarthy and when he has – who was their backup last year who ended up playing? Carson Wentz. When you have both of them, this offense is unstoppable. Max Brosmer played a little bit. Josh Dobbs – no, that was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
But you go, what can't he do? Well, what he can't do is coach a quarterback that's not already decent. Like, he got J.J. McCarthy in there. J.J. McCarthy did not have an option to even practice because he was on the injured reserve list the entirety of his rookie season. He couldn't practice with the team. He could go to team meetings, but he couldn't participate. So that entire time, he was basically useless. He couldn't do anything. And then he loses his mentor in Darnold, and you bring in somebody, Carson Wentz, who played really well when he was a starter back in 10 years ago, but he's not a starter anymore, and we figured that out very quickly.
Yep.
And instead of evaluating the entire quarterback position and going, maybe JJ's the answer, but let's bring in, and then they go with a better quarterback option. They lost out on the sweepstakes, and they got stuck with Kyler Murray, when arguably the easiest option for them would have been to try to get Kirk Cousins back. And I think Kyler Murray can be really good. I think he could low-key be a really good quarterback this year. He's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, probably one of the best receiving duos in the NFL, even though Jordan Addison's been a little lackluster lately. They brought in Jawan Jennings to be that third option, who might even be their second option if Addison doesn't get going. They have a good running back. I do have a lot of questions about their defense because it's gotten a lot older and a lot unhealthier. They brought in some good options, but their general manager has been notorious for being trash at drafting defense. I'll let you talk in a minute. I promise. You'll get to say everything because you have them a lot higher. But again, my other thing is I liked the start of their O-line last year. Donovan Jackson, you had Christian Darrisaw, you had Ryan Kelly, and you also had Will Fries and Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill couldn't stay healthy. Christian Darrisaw can't stay healthy. Donovan Jackson couldn't stay healthy. And then Ryan Kelly had to retire. And so this O-line is very banged up. Everybody's a little bit older. And I just don't think in a stacked NFC North they're going to be very high in the power rankings. But I'll let you take over because you have them a lot higher than I do.
I'll explain the offensive side when I get to the top 10.
That's fine.
But I'm going to talk to you about the defensive side. I don't care if they're 40, 50, damn near 70 years old. Who is their defensive coordinator?
I get it. Flores is great.
Who? Yeah.
You know me. I love me some Flores too.
Who is their defense coordinator? Flores.
But Flores ain't their damn head coach.
It doesn't matter. Flores finds a way to get these guys going. And he finds a way to get these guys to hit people in the mouth, no matter if they old, no matter if they a rookie, no matter if they've been on a freaking like a journeyman on the bench for 50 years and then they come up and become a superstar. He's done that with what's his name? Singleton?
Alex Singleton?
No. Who am I thinking of? Van Ginkel. He's done that with Van Ginkel.
He was good in Miami.
He was okay in Miami. He wasn't like that in Miami. And then Cashman. Cashman wasn't that good.
True. Well,
and Brian Flores made Cashman play Cashman because Cashman was a nobody. And then he goes to the Vikings and becomes a somebody. And Brian Flores put him on the map. So Brian Flores literally takes these guys that have the potential to be great and figures it out for this team. So with your defensive take, I don't agree with you just because Brian Flores is that type of coach that he sits there and evaluates what he's got. Yes, they struggled at the beginning of the year last year. They had a lot of injuries. Then in the middle of the year, they started picking it up, and then they fell off again because of those injuries that they had. But what did he do? He figured it out, though. And that's what I need people to realize. He is a smart mother freaking man, and he knows what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball. He figured it out. It's not his fault that he had all those injuries. He can't help that. He tried to put the best players he could possible out there, and they just didn't fit his scheme. So some of those players don't fit his scheme. Now he's got players. He lost Harrison Smith. We know that. That's probably his biggest loss that he's lost back there for the defensive back room. But he's got to find a way to replace him, and we'll see how he does that this year. But you got any about my?
I'd like to hear why you have the Dallas Cowboys so low, other than the fact that you don't like them, because I don't like them either.
I'm looking at what's going to happen with this Pickens situation, and I'm also looking at what are you getting from this defense, because last year they were subpar, below top 20, maybe 21, 22 last year. Maybe I'll give them 20, 21 range right there. But you can't have another year like that. And then losing George Pickens on top of it, who might not play. I mean, he helped CeeDee Lamb. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb's a great wide receiver. We know what he can do. But he helped CeeDee Lamb a lot last year when he was in the game. And Dak liked George Pickens. I mean, if you can't get your offense going and they start double or tripling, CeeDee Lamb, who are you going to go to? I mean, I know they lost Jalen Tolbert. They lost someone else too, and that I think they still got Kevontae Turpin, but they lost Jalen Tolbert. They lost Flournoy, I think, too.
Nope, he's
still got Flournoy. Okay, so they still got Flournoy, but you see what I'm saying? I don't know if Flournoy and Turpin can be those guys that can space like George Pickens can. I know they still got Jake Ferguson too, who's your brother, your brother, but. You see what I'm going here, and then their O-line, it gets banged up every year. It seems like on this side. This side's usually pretty good. This side usually gets banged up, which is the right side, which is with the Terrence Steele side. Mm-hmm. And I got to see. It's just really for me, it's the defense and what can they do with if George Pickens doesn't play with the loss of George Pickens. Mm-hmm. That's why I have them.
So I'll talk about the Cowboys when we get to the top 15. I'll go over why I have them so high. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that. So
no. I believe their offense is going to be electric too. I just can't see a spot where CeeDee's not going to be as electric as he usually is without at least a little bit of help. I'm not saying a whole lot because he's CeeDee Lamb, but just a little bit of help. Because what if they triple team and Dak's going to have to find somebody, but the others can't get open.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to do a big one. We're going to go 22-16. Does that work?
Yep, that's fine.
All right. 22, I have the New York Giants. 21, I have the New Orleans Saints. 20, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. 19, I have the LA Chargers. 18, I have the Washington Commanders. 17, I have the Indianapolis Colts. And 16, I have the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, 22. Oh, damn. Who's left for me? Who was my 23?
23. Bro, I don't know. I thought you should wrote this down.
I didn't write this down. Oh, here we go. I got it. So 22 for me is going to be the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
I'm going to put 21 as the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
20, I'm going to put Carolina.
Okay.
19, I'm going to put Kansas City here.
Okay.
18, I'm going to have Jacksonville. 17, I'm going to put Tampa at 17.
Okay.
And then at 16, I'm going to put the San Francisco 49ers at 16.
Okay. So I think we see a good bit of them the same. Honestly, we'll get to our top 15 so we can kind of break that down instead.
Yeah.
It's not really me.
Yeah.
Because there's people in my top 15 that we'll have conversations on that were in that grouping. I mean, I think we just see a good bit of them the same. 15 for me was the Detroit Lions.
Okay. My 15 is the Chicago Bears.
Okay. I think we see them. I think we see their ceiling the same for both of them, and we see their floor the same, which is they could be. Well, actually, is this your first NFC North team on here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the Bears as being as their floor being finishing last, like of the NFC North teams. I see them as finishing third for the Lions. And I think the Lions have just lost a lot of those big players. Like, and again, they will have talent at wide receiver and schemed up talent at running back, wide receiver. Even if they don't draft them high, they'll figure it out. Defensively, they'll have some talent always. But the trenches, they've got a lot of injuries. Taylor Decker hasn't even signed anywhere. He's still a free agent. Like, they've lost so much of their veteran depth because they thought their ceiling was a year ago or 2 years ago, and they didn't get there. And I think that's the problem with the Lions is they are where the Bears, which I'll talk about later, where the Bears are heading towards their peak. The Lions, I think, have peaked and are starting their slow descent. I'm thinking if I know Detroit and I know Dan Campbell, their descent's going to stop and they're going to climb back up. But it's just a wait and see.
So I'm going to kind of agree with you with the Lions here too. I mean, I have them irreplaceable. I have the Lions at 14 for me. So it's a thing where yes, they're old and I don't know how they're going to look on the offensive end because they're losing a lot of pieces. They lost a lot of pieces on defense. They can't stay healthy. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears here too.
That's fine.
I put them out. They would be higher right now if it wasn't for Caleb Williams being on the cover of Madden. And we know the Madden curse is real. That shit is real. I probably would have had the Bears around in the top 8 or 9, but I got to put them at 15 because although they are a good team, they got a great defense. They've got Ben Johnson as their head coach. I still need to see what that wide receiver room is going to look like. I know you got Luther Burden. I know you got Rome Odunze, but who's going to be that number one receiver for you after losing DJ Moore? I know DJ Moore wasn't that good for them last year, but the year before he was phenomenal as a number one receiver. But I don't know, is Luther Burden going to take that role as the number one, or is it going to be Rome Odunze that takes the role as the number one? Because I think Rome Odunze is a slot receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think Luther Burden can be a 1, but I don't think he can be a 1 right in year 2. I think year 3 is where I can see Luther Burden being a number 1 wide receiver. But also with Caleb Williams being on the cover of Madden, I have him at 15 because the Madden curse is real, and I don't think I don't think they're going to be bad to the point where they suck. I just don't think Caleb's going to have a very great year.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I'll talk about Chicago in a little bit once I get to them. But yeah, their wide receivers are one of my biggest worries. Number 14 for me, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's way too high for them.
Listen, man.
It's way too high for a shitty ass organization. Way too high. Yes, a former Steelers fan saying that's way too high for a shitty ass organization. They are going. Have you seen their fucking schedule? They're going to win 5 games. 5. They're going to win 5 games with that shitty ass schedule.
I think that their defense is going to carry them a bulk of the season.
What? Well, hold on. What defense? They all keep getting hurt.
Well, but you have Herbig, who just got paid.
He keeps getting hurt, though. He gets hurt.
But if they
get hurt,
again,
TJ Watt gets hurt.
This is a new year, so I think this year they're going to stay healthier. I think that McCarthy's ability as a defensive and offensive mind is going to help their floor tremendously. Their floor is going to be very high. It's their ceiling that's just not going to be there. McCarthy has been to more playoff games and won more playoff games than a lot of these coaches in the NFL right now.
Has he won? He didn't win in Dallas.
No, but
I can't give you that.
Green Bay.
I can't give you
that because look at who's coaching nowadays. You think how much playoff experience does Kellen Moore have as a head coach? How much playoff How much playoff experience did Mike McDaniels? How much did Mike McDaniels as a head coach? How much
as a head coach? As a head coach, okay.
How much did Mike McDaniels have? How much does Raheem Morris have as a head coach? I mean, one playoff game. Uno playoff game. How about Dave Canales? How about the guys who are just getting hired? Brian Schottenheimer. How much experience did he have as a head coach? 0. How about Cliff Kingsbury? He maybe won 1 game. So of the
he went to the playoffs though. He went to the playoffs.
But as of head coaches out there, McCarthy's won the big dance. He's gotten all the way to the Super Bowl. He's won the fucking Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Now, that was 20-something years ago, or what feels like 20-something years ago. But, but he's a floor guy. He's always been a floor guy. You look at what his teams have needed to succeed on defense. They needed a good pass rusher. They've got 3 of them, even though one of them wants out. Highsmith wants out. But they've had they've had a good pass rusher. They had Clay Matthews in Green Bay, and they had Michael Parsons and
DeMarcus
Lawrence in Dallas.
I also had Dante Fowler as well.
Yes, they did. What else did they have? They had a strong linebacking core. Peyton Wilson, not Derek Queen, Patrick Queen. With Patrick Queen getting up there, not very good.
He's a free agent.
Oh, he is? He's gone? Oh, hallelujah. But Wilson, very good linebacker. And they've got options. And then good corner play. Good corner play. They got Jalen Ramsey.
He's not a corner.
Oh, yeah. Is he playing free safety now? Well, you got Joey Porter Jr. and you got
Elliott's playing slot.
Dante Samuel and you got Deshaun Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott's playing in slot. Brisker.
You got Jalen Ramsey and you've got who's their strong
Jalen Brisker.
Yeah.
Or Jaquan Brisker.
It's a good floor defense. It's not a superstar defense, but it's a good floor defense. It's better than a lot of these defenses that are going to be trotting out this year. And offensively, what was a big market thing for him? Consistency. I mean, you've got 3 guys on that O-line who are consistent starters. McCormick, Frazier, Fatanu, all consistent, even though Fatanu's been hurt a good bit. I mean, and you bring Max Ionicher in, who he is a floor tackle. I mean, this team is going to be a very good floor team. And at floor team right now, you could be 15 or you could be 14 in the league. Now, as we get into the season, their floor is going to keep them where they are, until other teams start over improving, like the 49ers, like the Chiefs, like you have, or like the Colts, or all of them.
Now I'm gonna say my piece for my former team, who's no longer my team anymore. I'm gonna take it from a yes, their defense is probably going to be good. I look at the defensive backcourt. I personally, to me, you don't think it's superstar defense. I think it's superstar defensive backcourt. You get an All-Pro in Jamel Dean. You have an All-Pro.
I forgot about Jamel Dean.
You have an All-Pro in Jalen Ramsey. You have an All-Pro in Jaquan Brisker, and you also have who's not been an All-Pro, but has played like an All-Pro corner in Joey Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, and Deshaun Elliott to me is an All-Pro safety. But when I liked the Steelers, he was my favorite DB on their team. But anyways, I think they got a top 10 defensive backcourt if they can put it together. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to put it together because it solely rests on Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter. That's who it solely rests on. Joey Porter's going to help you out, but then he has them games where he's terrible or he's inconsistent. Jalen Ramsey, on the other hand, he's going to have every game where he's inconsistent or terrible, but it's those plays that he makes in the middle of the field is what makes him good. Now, if you're the Steelers' new defense coordinator, you have him just stay in the middle of the field. You don't have him come up because he's terrible when he comes up. But that D-line is old. I'm not going to give you that because they cannot stay healthy. TJ Watt maybe will be able to stay healthy for them, but he didn't do anything last year. He only had 4 sacks, which is a career low for him. Career low. Cam Hayward, he gets better with age. He's the only one I'm going to talk about that's probably been the bright spot for that Steelers pass rush last year. And he was. Alex Highsmith hurt half the year. Herbie hurt half the year. They don't have it. And Jack Sawyer, he was a rookie last year. So I can't be like, this D-line's going to be very good. I just can't say that because I don't think they're going to be very good for the Steelers this year. I think what they're going to lean on is Peyton Wilson as the only linebacker that they got. And that defensive backcourt is what's going to help them in games. And then I look on the offensive side. You got 2 receivers that do the same exact thing. What's that going to help you? No, nothing. And then you're going to have a question mark. Is McCarthy going to play Roman Wilson, or is he going to start?
Oh, Patrick Queen's on the team.
Oh, he is. Well, still Patrick Queen's garbage, anyways. But what is McCarthy going to do on offense? Is he going to start Roman Wilson? Is he going to put in Jeremy Bernard, the rookie from Alabama? Is he going to play one of those two? And those two guys, Jeremy Bernard's an outside receiver. In my opinion, he's not a slot. Roman Wilson can play in the slot, but can he be consistent? Can you get the Roman Wilson that he played at Michigan? I'm going to say no because, he didn't show it. He had an opportunity last year. He didn't do it. So that's my take. I think the run game is going to be the what excels for the Steelers like it always usually does. Jaylen Warren, Rico Dowdle is going to be a phenomenal duo in the back. Their O-line and Honkor going to be one of them projects that McCarthy works on. He's probably going to be really good. And Jennings Dunker probably going to play that guard spot. And he's going to be really good up there too. But we'll see what happens offensively. I don't think they're going to be very good. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Their run game is going to be phenomenal, but I don't think that pass game is going to be very well with 2 receivers that do the same thing. So,
yeah, I think it's just for me. It's just going to be a wait and see here. I'm excited to see it though. I think McCarthy's going to get him. I don't know if he's going to get it back to the playoffs, but he, especially with Rodgers. Rodgers is the other thing. I don't appreciate. If I was the GM of the Steelers, I would have been like, I'm sorry, Aaron, we're not bringing you back. Because what did he do last year? He didn't do anything last year. And then he held out forever this year. And it's like, I don't get it, man. I would have been extremely disrespected, and I would have drafted a quarterback the first damn round and just gone, sorry, Rodgers, we're going with this guy.
Oh, on one of my picks in the bottom, I would have said a team twice.
What?
So I'm going to switch it out. I didn't put Tennessee in there. I completely forgot about Tennessee. So I'm going to exchange Tennessee for Jacksonville.
Okay. My 13, so I can go ahead and talk about them, is Dallas. Who's your 13?
There's a lot of good options on there. I'm going to go Baltimore here. 13 for me.
Okay.
Baltimore.
Baltimore a lot higher. But Dallas, just to touch on them, I think Pickens is going to be fine. I don't exactly know.
Did you see what he asked for? You see how much money he asked for after Drake London broke the market?
He's going to get it. He's going to get
it. Shit, he ain't going to get shit.
He
ain't going to get shit. Jerry Jones, if he's the shit, he would already got it.
Here's the thing with Dallas. Dallas is about to hit their cap this year. This is going to be – they're going to explode after this year if they don't figure it out. They got Caleb Downs. They didn't reach for a player that they actually needed. They took a luxury in Caleb Downs in the first round, and then they took an edge rusher who was a reach in the first round. They really didn't draft well. Let me take a look here. They didn't draft well like at all. They went Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence, Jashawn Barham.
Barham's not bad though. Barham's actually pretty good.
Drew Shelton, Devin Moore, LT Overton, Anthony Smith.
LT Overton's a really good player too.
I love it. I love LT Overton. And LT Overton in the fourth was great, but they overdrafted at pretty much every position besides Caleb Downs. And this is a team that really needed to hit a home run this year. I think Dak, CD, Pickens, they have Turpin, they have Marquez Valdez-Scantling too. That's a good backup option. He is basically a mercenary at this point. I mean, he'll play for money. He'll play for anything. Ryan Flournoy being in their slot makes a ton of sense. But, yeah, man, their O-line is very young. This is kind of – we're about to see if they could take over this game. I think bringing in Rashawn Gary on a prove-it deals is great. DeMarion Overshown should be back for this year. It's just they have formed themselves from heavy Dante Fowler, DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons edges to having Malachi Lawrence from UCF, who's not big. He's a very small edge rusher. Donovan Ezeraku, who's a small edge rusher. Rashawn Gary, who's a smaller, skinnier edge rusher than like a Micah Parsons, Tank Lawrence. So we're getting a lot of speed on the edge, but we're not getting a lot of power, if that makes sense. You've got Quinnen Williams on the inside with who's big boy? Odiegbo?
Odengbo, yeah.
Ogbiano. Oh, and Kenny Clark. Like this team is ready for success this year. This year, it's just you got.
They still won't win a playoff game.
They might not. I don't want them to, but they have definitely gotten themselves in a better position. It's just they got to keep everybody happy, and you can't. And wide receivers are divas. And instead of drafting a wide receiver, which they probably should have, they went with defense instead, which was smart because Caleb Downs is great, but Omar Cooper Jr. might have been crazy on this team. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you might be right. He might have been hella good on this team, but we don't know. We won't
know, at least for another 4 years when the Jets inevitably F up and like Omar Cooper Jr. and Jerry Jones goes, "Gotcha, bitch."
The reason why I have Baltimore this low is I don't know. I don't know what Baltimore's going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I still don't think they have a number one receiver either. I don't think they had a number one guy receiver. They just lost their best pass catcher. No offense to Mark Andrews. They lost their best pass catcher. And I don't know how their defense is going to be fine. Don't question me about their defense. Their defense is going to be phenomenal probably. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to get from that offense? I know what you're going to get from Lamar, even though he's a running back. He's not no quarterback to me. But you know what you're going to get from Lamar. But what are you going to get without having Isaiah Likely? I know you have Mark Andrews. I know you have Derrick Henry. But who's going to be that number one receiver. Can Zay Flowers play number one? I don't know. I think Zay Flowers is a slot to me. Then you go get a rookie in Jacoby Lane from USC. I think that's who it is. That's the guy I really liked, who I said he was going to be really, really good. He's a deep ball guy, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. I don't know what he's going to do. So just looking at Baltimore's offense, and they got a new offense coordinator who I don't know if he's going to be any really good. So
yeah,
that's why I have him at 13.
Okay, I'll talk about the Ravens here in a little bit. I've got them a little bit higher. 12, I have Kansas City.
Okay. 12, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. KC, Mahomes is going to be out for at least half the year, if not the whole year. And Justin Fields. And I don't know what we're going to see out of him. This team is pretty much the exact same as it was this number one corner. So you lose Trent McDuffie, but you get Mansour Delane. You really didn't do anything in free agency or offensively that's going to change the league. You're just hoping Mahomes can put it together when he gets healthy, and your receiver's in jail. So
that is true. He's only in jail for 30 days, though. So
but still, that's 30 days where he could have been out here practicing with everybody.
That is true.
So, and building chemistry with Justin Fields. So, I mean, this team's just not going to be where it needs to be at the beginning of the season. I think they will make a giant push for the playoffs late in the season, but it's just not going to be. It's not going to be in the first 10 weeks.
You are correct. I don't believe it's going to be in the first 10 weeks either.
But you talk about Saxonville. I had them a lot.
I have them a lot higher because people don't realize what they did last year as a group with having a subpar bottom 5 defense in the NFL and going 12-4 with that offense. Liam Cohen's cooking, and you lose Trevor Achane, which is crazy. Now he's saying his name is Achane.
Travis Etienne.
My fault. Travis Etienne, which is crazy how he's saying Etienne. It's always going to be Etienne to me. Sorry. But losing Travis Etienne, we'll see how that affects them. But, I mean, I look at the team last year offensively. They were really good in the pass game last year. Parker Washington stepped up. I mean, Brian Thomas was out, so, you had to have Parker Washington step up. I think Parker Washington is their unsung hero right now, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves for this team. And Brenton Strange has been very okay, but like I said, I think Liam Cohen's going to find a way to get this team cooking again, and Parker Washington going to be one of those X-Factor guys for them again this year. So I'm at 12 offensively. They're a little bit better defensively. Can we see a new change because Travis Hunter's only playing defense this year? Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I think they improved a little bit on that back end for that defensive backcourt. They did lose Devin Lloyd, though, so that's going to be where I look is from that front 7, how you going to look this year. But that back end is going to be phenomenal for them as well. So I have Jacksonville because of their offense here.
I'm excited to see what they do. I think that running back is a position I've said this for the past couple of years. Running back is a position where if you don't have a Derrick Henry build running back, it doesn't matter.
There's one in free agency. If Liam Cohen can just be like, just run down the middle and stop bouncing and doing that bullshit that you always do. Najee Harris.
I thought he was back with the Chargers. Is he not?
No, he's free agent. Najee Harris.
Maybe. We'll see where Najee goes. He'll get signed somewhere for sure.
Because he's literally the Derrick Henry 2.0 prototype.
But I mean, again, it was if you don't have a Derrick Henry or you don't have like a Jahmyr Gibbs, CMC Bijan, where it's like they can make plays out of the backfield. If you don't have that, then it doesn't matter. Like, and Jonathan Taylor, whatever I say, there's always going to be an exception to that rule where it's like, well, Jonathan Taylor, or like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, listen, you can let go of Achane and you can run with with Bishal Tootin
I don't know
And
who else is. Who's
Jamal Agnew, if he's still around, or he
I don't
might
know
be.
who the other guy is.
But yeah, you can rock with the committee, because that's what you need is a committee of running backs where you can replace one and stay cheap, because running the football doesn't matter as much. It's all about quick short passes. So I'm excited to see,
Oh, yeah. They'll be okay. They have the rookie LaQuint Allen from Illinois.
good.
They have Chris Rodriguez, who's a power back. He's okay. And then
He's
Bajel Tootin is their number one.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. So to get off my soapbox here, because again, I had them at 20. Yeah, they could be really good this year. It's just I got to see them put it together with everybody being healthy.
Yeah.
So 11, I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team got a lot worse, but it's the NFC South, man, and they have a good O-line, and their defense is well coached by Todd Bowles, and this might be Todd Bowles' last year head coaching that team. They might legitimately pack his bag, put his britches in there, and kick his ass out after the season. And I'm talking about his drawers, not pants. He's gonna be out there in his polka dot underwear, sitting on the curb, waiting to be picked up by his freaking. He can't afford an Uber. He can't afford a Lyft. He's gonna get picked up by the taxi. That's what's gonna come and pick him up. And it's going to drive his ass to the airport where he goes and reunites with Bumble Fungus over in the CFL. Like, he's terrible. He's a terrible head coach. I mean, Bruce Arians basically made it so that way he could be their head coach. That was the entire plan, was Todd Bowles is going to be my successor. And they should have gone with Dave Canales. They should have gone with – but here's the problem. They didn't even have Dave Canales at that point. They had freaking Byron Leftwich as their OC. Where's he now? Is he's probably teaching some HBCU down there in like
he's in the UFL.
UFL. See? That's even worse. At least at the HBCU it'd be like cool. But no, he's coaching the Orlando Storm or some shit. Like,
he's an OC for the Renegades.
Terrible. But the Buccaneers, Emeka Egbuka, I think is going to be a perennial All-Pro in the next 2 years.
Yes. Can I also say, I'm going to piggyback off of you before I say my 11 team, though. I put him at 16 only because the loss of Mike Evans.
It does hurt.
That's the reason why I put him at 16. But I'm kind of a little, ecstatic a little bit. It's like, okay, let's see what you can do without Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, he can't stay healthy. I'm not even going to put you in this conversation. But I like the receiver they drafted in the third round, Ted Hurst from Georgia State. He's a big 6'4" guy. He goes down the field, catches 50-50 balls, and guess what he can do? He can catch the football. You don't have to have a worry about him not catching the football because he will catch it. If it's here, he gonna catch it. He's 6'4", about 205. I mean, I like to see what he can do out there with Chris Godwin, and you already said it. Emeka Egbuka is going to be a perennial superstar in the next, maybe even next year. He might be a perennial superstar next year, like you said, in the next couple years. And I still can't sleep on Cade Otton, and they got a nice run game. So
yeah, and they got a lot of UDFAs last year because they did get banged up at receiver quite a bit.
And
a lot of
look at you said they're going to pack Todd Bowles and put it. Todd Bowles has been good on the defensive side of the ball. He's got some defensive players to come in for him, especially Yaya Diaby, who was a fifth-round pick?
He was a steal.
He's a fifth-round pick, and Yaya Diaby is his best pass rusher right now. And I'm looking at it like, wow, Yaya Diaby and this defense is going to be cooking for them this year. And he's got a decent O-line. So, I mean, I'm not going to sleep on the Bucs, but I have them at 16 only because – that loss of Mike Evans, I've got to see what they can do. I got to see what they can do on the offensive end.
And they really haven't replaced their right tackle.
No, they have not. They have not.
Ever since Donovan Smith left, they have not been able to find a consistent guy.
No, they have not.
Maybe they found it this year, but I don't.
He's their left tackle. He was their left tackle. Remember they moved Tristan Wirfs?
Donovan Smith is their left tackle. Tristan Wirfs moved to left tackle, and they never replaced Tristan Wirfs on that right side.
Yeah, I agree. My number 11 is the San Francisco 49ers. I know you had them a lot lower. I have them.
Station attack. I'm not in love. I've not been a fan of the 49ers. I'm going to do the negatives so that way you can talk all about the positives here. I have not been a fan of the 49ers. The way like they always find a way to win, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's the way that they've built their offense. It's like they don't go after these vets. They don't go after the veterans. They go after these weird motherfuckers. Like halfway through the season, you've got LaQuinton LeJoyner out there, and he's out there catching footballs, and you're like, where the fuck did you come from? And it says,
but he's playing good. But he's playing good though.
It says Motown State, and you're like, where the fuck is Motown State? And then you look it up, and it's a D3 college that's in like butt fuck Delaware, and nobody's ever heard of it. He's the only player to ever come out of there that's ever played in the pros. But then here's the problem: he plays really good for like 3 games. Then the starter comes back, plays well. You never hear of LaQuint LeGoyner again. And then you go, well, this guy played really good. Why didn't he get a shot on next year's roster? Because they found 15 other guys who all play like him, who are all from these butt-fuck colleges that no one's ever heard of. Or they were on like Michigan, but they were the 5th wide receiver option at Michigan. And you're like, what? So the receiving core, when you have Robbie Anderson out there, there's a problem going on. You have Robbie Choate.
Actually, they have a more improved receiving core.
They do this year, but wait until the electrical substation starts humming again, and then Robbie Chosen is going to be coming back out there. Ryan Flournoy is going to leave the Cowboys one day, go play for the 49ers, and then go suit back up for the Cowboys later that afternoon. Like that's how bad it's going to get. So, and it's not only that, their defense, they just can't find consistency that continues on. Like they will have, other than Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and they will have a really solid linebacking core. And then those linebackers will go and get paid, and they won't keep them. And so then they're having to reshuffle and retool. And then Mykal Williams has just been terrible for him. He's been one of the worst players out of this draft class last year. So that's now you talk about all the good.
Okay, I'm gonna reiterate on one of those bad points as you for well.
Please.
As well before I talk about the positive. I'm looking at this roster right now. I'm looking at their edge spot, their left edge spot, and I'm looking at their defensive back room right now. Who are these guys in these dudes? Don't get me wrong, most of these guys are good. Most of these guys in the defensive back room are good, but I'm just reiterating what you said, like a Johnny who, where'd he come from? They play good in their roles is why I think they're good. But on to the positives. I really think this offense is going to be a problem. And even if some of these guys go down, they have some good backups, I think. They drafted a guy, Deshaun Stribling, who I really like in the draft. He's a speedster. He can catch the football. His only issue is route running, but I think with Mike Evans being there and Christian Kirk, they can probably help him with his route running. They got Christian Kirk. Yeah. But they also got DeMarcus Robinson, the legend, the hero from a couple of years ago with the Rams and the 49ers, and the Chiefs actually as well too, a couple of years ago. And then they got Jordan Watkins, a guy that I'm very high on too. He's a speedster, very, very good, very young too. So I look at this offense and I'm like, they can get it done. It's just another negative. Can they stay freaking healthy? Because if they can stay healthy, this could be a top. Like I said, I would have had them higher if I was thinking that they couldn't stay healthy. This is why they're low. This is my low for me. I wouldn't put them at 20 because they're coached by a great coach who's Shanahan. He figures shit out. I don't know how he does, but he figures it out. That's why I have them in the top 15 because he figures that shit out. But like I said, barring their defensive, like I said, I do like some of their new additions. Drake Greenlaw coming back is going to be big. I think adding Big Osa Odighizuwa in the middle is going to help them a lot as well. Like you said, Mykal Williams hasn't been good, but they also had Keon White, who hasn't really had a good career. But you know how San Fran does with these guys that are pure pass rushers, and so we'll see how they can work with Keon White in that mix. And then, like I said, I don't really like their defensive back room, but they play the road. Demodor Lenore has been very good for them. Jair Brown at safety, he played really good last year. He's not good, but he played really good last year. Malik Mustafa, probably one of my favorite guys on this defense, though, because he flies around and hits hard. Renardo Green, who?
No. We know Renardo. Renardo's pretty.
No. I'm making the joke here. I'm making that joke. Renardo Green, who? He was an undrafted free agent last year.
Yeah.
Comes in and makes his job known now. And then Upton Stout, one of those guys that we didn't think was going to even touch the field for the 49ers, and now he's a starting nickelback for them. And then I look at their bench. Ashton Davis, not a very good guy, but he can fit his role, playing that backup safety role. You got Jack Jones, who's I think is one of the better nickel corners in the game. He's very underrated. And then Nate Hobbs is still there, very young. They'll figure it out. I believe that they've got those problems. I'm just looking at that left defensive end spot and that other outside linebacker spot where Mykel Williams is. Can they figure that out? Because I think if they can, maybe if you go get a Joey Bosa to pair up with Nick Bosa,
yeah, that would be nice.
on that edge spot, you'd be okay. And then maybe you go get. I really don't know who's out at outside linebacker for you to go get right now, but maybe you work Keon White. Maybe you find a way to get Mykel Williams going. But that's the two key holes for me, for them. Their O-line, I'm not going to talk about because, I mean, they were really good last year. Bring back Trent Williams, the 41-year-old tackle who's still playing at an all-pro level at 41 years old, which is insane. And that's all I got to say for 49ers. Can they stay healthy? Because if they were a healthy team, I'd have them in the top 5 right now.
Okay. Starting in the top 10, and again, this is pretty much the same list I sent you. It's not going to be anything different. And I really won't. These guys are going to be a lot more self-explanatory. So if I have one that's egregious, you let me know. 10, I have the Houston Texans. I think they're. I think they could be a hell of a lot higher. It's just C.J. Stroud. That's it.
I'm actually kind of going to agree. I don't have them at 10. I have them Oh shit. I actually have them. Actually, I do have them tied. I have a team tied here because I took a team out of my top and put them tied. So I have 2 teams tied for 10. But I'm going to agree with you here as well. I think C.J. Stroud is the factor for this team. Can he get it done? He got lucky last year in the playoffs. He had a 5-interception game and he still win the damn game.
Yep.
Your defense saved you. Your defense
is top 2 defense in the NFL.
He might have the best defense in the NFL. To be honest, no, the Rams have the best defense in the NFL. The Rams have the best defense in it, but he has the number 2 defense in the NFL. And then my other 10 spot is the Los Angeles Chargers. What are you going to get from the Chargers? We know you're going to have a deep passing game. You're going to have a decent defense. But is that O-line going to stay healthy?
Yep.
Is their receiving core going to take a step up because they did get a speedster? They got Brennan Thompson, I think is what his name is.
I don't know. I don't keep up with the Chargers.
That was the Mike McCarthy pick that everybody's talking about, the speedster that ran the fastest 40 from Mississippi State, Brennan Thompson. I don't know. But Quentin Johnston's going to have to take another big leap if he wants to be on the team next year. Their best bright spot, I will say, has been their tight end, Ladd McConkey. And O'Marion Hampton, you didn't play a lot of games last year, so I'm not sleeping on you just yet, but you didn't play a lot of games last year. So I got to see what Herbert can do because he can't stay healthy either. So I got to see what they can do as a unit because if they can stay healthy, they're going to be in that mix in the top 5 or 6 teams as well if they can stay healthy.
I had the Chargers at 19, so I think we see them a lot differently. But I think it's just what are we going to get out of the Chargers this year? Also, they're in a stacked NFC West.
I see why you put them. Their O line is the issue for me.
I
Though.
love Slater. I love Alt. I was a big Aronde Gadsden supporter.
Don't they got a new guy though? Njoku. They got Njoku at tight end.
Yeah, but my other issue is the defense is good, but it's like it lost direction with Mentor. They just couldn't find a mesh there. And so now that they've got a new DC, hopefully he can sort something out. And
I think it was just a bunch of guys trying to, be the captain, or be the leader and be the hero.
They found somebody to finally take over that.
Because their middle linebacker is Denzel Perriman, and he's one of those guys that likes to play hero ball and doesn't really lead. So if they can find a green dot guy that can just sit there and just be boom, 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 I think they'll be okay.
Number 9, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to just keep on going because I don't know how I can explain why they're 9, but they're 9, and it's the Green Bay Packers. They're just 9. They're there. Like they have one of the best built rosters outside of the receiving core, mind you. I'm not a huge fan of just it being a bunch of guys that were now overpaid, but I know Jaden Reed's good, and I know Christian Watson's good, but they're just number 9, right? They're just there.
I'm actually agreeing with you on this one. I have the Packers at 9 as well. I believe Jaden Reed's their best receiver. No offense to Christian Watson. I haven't seen a lot from Christian Watson. Can't stay healthy. Tight end, Musgrave, and the other guy, I can't think of his name.
Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft. They've been phenomenal as well. Run game, I don't know who's going to play running back for them, though, because Josh Jacobs is going to get suspended. We know he's going to get suspended, but for how long? For how long is he going to? And then Micah Parsons is out until mid-October is what the reports are saying. So they don't have a pass rusher, so they're going to have to find someone to help rush the pass after losing Rashawn Gary to Dallas. So
they traded his ass to Dallas. They were going to cut him. They got Lucas Van Ness. Come on now. First-round pick. Lucas Van Ness.
He ain't done nothing since he's been there. But
I liked him too, and that was the problem. That motherfucker never started a single game at Iowa. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. And then I look at this old line. You lose Elgton Jenkins, your best player on the offense.
They cut his ass.
Yeah, which was stupid.
It's not that they've lost any of these people. They have looked at him and gone, "We're moving on."
No, Myers is a good center, but Jenkins can play guard, center, tackle.
Well, here's the one thing I really do like about the Packers is they have done a good job at. We have the front line of who we want to start, and then we've got 4 solid guys that can literally start any position. Jordan Morgan can start any of the guard or tackle positions. They have backup centers that could play guard. They have backup guards that could play center. They've got now. I will say this: Jordan Morgan ain't going to line up at center, but they've got the opportunity and they've got the structure with the Packers, and they've had this for years, where a man goes down and you've got 3 guys that could all jump in and take his place that all know that position so well, and that's one of the things about them. Now, are they going to be is it going to be like Elgton Jenkins out there? No, but it's going to be like watching a backup, but it's going to be like watching a backup, like watching Spencer Anderson.
I really think their offense is going to be good, but I think that O-line is going to struggle a little bit, especially not having that veteran in Elgton Jenkins that points those things out different.
Got Zach Tom, and Zach Tom is now their captain. So
I know, but you see what I'm coming from.
I see where you're coming from. Zach Tom is good. He's good.
But he's only 27.
Yeah, but he's already their team captain too, which is.
I know. I'm just saying he's only 27. Elgton Jenkins is damn near 35, and he's over there. He's over there pointing out which block you gonna block for the tackle. You block here, I block here. You don't have that up front right now. No, I'm not.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm not sleeping on Myers at 7.
I get it. It's gonna be a wait and see. But again, to sit here and talk about the Packers, we might as well just try to cut our legs off with a spoon, like because nobody's ever gonna be happy. They're
gonna be good, but.
Yes, they're going to be 9. They're going to be 9. I'm going to – because these 3 teams we can talk about, but they're kind of lumped together. I'm gonna hit 8-7-6, and then we can just kind of jump around on them. I've got Bills, Bears, Broncos. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. I you're gonna hate me on some of these. Okay. I have Seattle, Giants, Vikings.
So again, I had Giants at 22. I had Vikings at 27. You've already talked a good bit about the Vikings defense. I'll let you talk about their offense here in a second. The Giants, it's for me, what kills them is what's Jackson Dart going to do? How is he going to? That's why the Titans and the Saints, like that's why they didn't take that next step up into any of those tiers, is because you've got a second-year quarterback who honestly he had his moments, but he didn't play amazing. Like he was a rookie quarterback. You've got a wide receiver coming off of a major injury, and you've got a really phenomenal defense, a great head coach, but you got to put it all together now, right? You just got to put it all together. And
who's their OC?
Their OC. It's not. Please don't be Greg Roman. Oh my God.
I don't think it's Greg Roman. Isn't it? Is it not the dude that used to coach for the? Is it Nagy? I think it's Nagy.
Hang on. Matt Nagy.
It's Matt Nagy. Yeah, it's Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy and Denard Wilson's his DC.
That's interesting to me. That's an interesting pick for me.
And Denard Wilson was the Titans DC.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Nagy's interesting. Super Bowl winning OC. Super Bowl winning QB coach too. Lest we forget.
Yeah.
I mean,
he also made that Bears offense look very good with Mitchell Trubisky. By the way,
I will never forgive him for that.
I'm just saying.
We'll never forgive his.
He made Mitch Trubisky look like a top 15 quarterback in the NFL.
Well, there's a reason why. If I had a choice, I would have taken Spagnuolo over Matt Nagy for any position. Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't coming back to New York anyway. But I don't know. But yeah, the Broncos are the Broncos. The Bears, we talked about them ad nauseum earlier. And then the Bills, you got a former MVP as your QB. You just got to figure out your receiving core.
Can you put it together?
We'll get Stephon Diggs back. Just give him a 1-year contract because that connection was the Odell Beckham, Eli Manning connection. That's what it was.
And I think Stephon Diggs has got a little bit more juice left and maybe a good year left in him. So if you can adding him with DJ Moore and Khalil Shakir, there you go.
Keon Coleman or whatever's left after he's been picked over by the Bugs.
Yeah,
poor guy. But at number 5, I have Baltimore.
Hold on, I didn't explain.
Go ahead.
I know you're probably going to be infuriated why I have the Seattle Seahawks at 8, but here's my reasoning. They did lose a couple of those defensive cornerstone players for them. I think that losing some of those defensive guys, they'll figure it out. It's McDonald. He'll figure that shit out on defense. I'm not too worried about that. I'm looking at, Charbonnet's going to be out until probably week 4, week 5. He won't return until about week 5 of the NFL season. You lose Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs. He's your best player, barring JSN. JSN is your best player. No, don't give me hands down. He's probably the best receiver in football right now. After he proved it last year, even though I still think Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the game, just because of what he can do as a receiver. He does it all as a receiver. But, anyways, Jackson Smith-Njigba, your best player. So I'm not sleeping on Sam Darnold because I saw what he did last year. He took a team to the Super Bowl, journeyman quarterback, been on a bunch of teams, did what he had to do, gets the job done. What helped Sam Darnold last year? A whole lot, though. And what helped Jackson Smith-Njigba? What helped these other guys? Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp. What helped these guys last year was a strong effort and a good running game with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Now you don't have both of them. You don't have one of them until week 5. and the other one's gone to the Demons to go try to win the damn Super Bowl in Kansas City. I just look at it like they did lose. Like I said, they lost pieces on defense, but I think McDonald will figure it out. But their biggest issue is, to me, can they figure this? Can they figure this O-line out too? Because I mean, last year we saw a bunch of guys move around so much that we didn't know who was playing tackle. We didn't know who was playing guard for them. We didn't even know who's playing center for them half the damn time because they're moving so many guys around. Can they stay consistent up front? And can whoever's going to play running back for them rolling out there week 1, which I have no idea who it's going to be, who's going to roll out there week 1 for them and play running back? And can he be consistent to help JSN, Cooper Kupp, Sam Darnold, and Rashid Shaheed? That's why I have them at 8. I just don't know if they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I put the Vikings at 7. I'm going to disagree with you. I think Jackson Dart will figure it out. John Harbaugh with young quarterbacks figure that shit out. And Jackson Dart don't got a big job to do. Who does he got in the backfield? Cam Scatterbuck. Who's he got throwing him the football? Malik Neighbors. And I know you're not going to like this. Odell can catch the football. He's not going to be, I'm going to do this again. He can catch the football. That's all that matters. And then you got a bunch of other plethora of guys. But everybody sleeps on Darius Slayton. I love me some Darius Slayton. And the reason why, he catches the football. That's all you need. And then you get the monster in Isaiah Likely, who's going to be able to space the field for Jackson Dart. And I just look at it like that. Their O-line has gotten a little bit better too. So I just can't agree with you with saying Jackson Dart has it. He's got it. Can he? I agree with you on the part. Can he put it together? But I think he has the weapons just to be like, oh, I can play mediocre and still get it done. And then the Vikings, self-explanatory. I think they have the top, maybe 1 or 2 offense in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, we know what he can do. Addison, can he be that counterpart to Justin Jefferson? And Juwan Jennings is phenomenal athlete. Phenomenal. TJ Hawkinson, you forgot to talk about earlier. he's usually a top 6 tight end every year.
I'm not a fan of him.
He catches the football and he blocks. He catches the football and he blocks. So that's all they need. And then you got Aaron Jones in the backfield. I know he's old, and Jordan Mason was good last year too. So, I mean, their offense is going to put it together. And what did I tell you when I've been talking to you about this Vikings team? Is if Kyler Murray can play like Kyler Murray, you're going to see a whole new West Coast quarterback.
Yep.
It's going to be that dual threat guy instead of them big old fucking 6'6", 6'5" pocket passes. It's going to be one of these 6'1", 6'2" guys that can, like we've always wanted Anthony Richardson to go with McVay. Sit there and have him learn and get better, because he would be unstoppable in that offense. That's my reasoning for the Vikings right there.
I think they're a wait and see. Again, I talked about it earlier. It's just wait and see what they could do.
Who's your 5?
Baltimore.
Okay.
Baltimore. Again, this team went through a lot of changes philosophically over this offseason. Jesse Minter coming in as their head coach. Not a huge Minter guy. Again, Chargers defense was just a bunch of guys last year. There's no cohesion. And so I think, him going over to replace John Harbaugh. From Jim Harbaugh's staff is insane. And B, you're replacing the greatest head coach in Ravens history, who's going to be a member of their Ring of Honor.
And I honestly thought it was a stupid firing.
It was. They legitimately missed the playoffs on a kick, and that was it. But also, you've had chances. You have a 2-time MVP on your roster. You've had chances and you have Derek fucking Henry. You had the perfect team, other than, like, what else do they need? A Justin Jefferson?
They need
If
a
we
receiver. They really do need a receiver.
Justin Jefferson, where they would have at least made the playoffs, and also the inability for that organization to draft offensive linemen other than Ronnie Stanley.
They didn't draft Ronnie Stanley.
Oh, where did he come from?
He came from Baltimore, or he came from Kansas City. I think, unless they did actually draft him. I don't think he came. I don't think he was drafted by Baltimore.
He was drafted by
Baltimore.
Yes, 2016. Okay. He's been there for 10 years. Yeah, no, they drafted him. You think about,
I'm thinking about Orlando Brown.
Yeah, Orlando Brown was also drafted by them. He just went to go play for Kansas City. Yeah. You might be thinking about Rodney Hudson getting drafted by KC and going to the Raiders. But yeah, no, this team had a really good O-line, and then they've had years where they didn't. Marshall Yonder, Ronnie Stanley, Orlando Brown. You had they had my op. Ryan Jensen was their center for a couple of years. Like, they had a really good O-line, and then everybody left. And they didn't replace them. They got Daniel Falele and Roger Rosengard, which Rosengard I like. They lose Linderbaum now. I don't even know.
I don't know who their O-line is.
Let me read it out real quick. But again, I think that they have a 2-time MVP on their hands. They have a future Hall of Fame quarterback and
future Hall of Fame running back too.
And a future Hall of Fame running back. I mean, they still have Bateman, Flowers, and Tez Walker. Surratt. They drafted Elijah Surratt.
Name those 3 receiving cores again. Name the top 3.
Bateman, Flowers, and Walker.
Bateman, Walker, Flowers.
Mark Andrews is there too. But no, listen. Here's their starting offensive line right now before the season. Rosengarten, right tackle. Stanley, left tackle. John Simpson, right guard. Vega Awane, great pick. He might be an all-pro. He might be Marshall Yonder 2.0. Brady. For $2 million, without looking it up, name the starting center for the Baltimore Ravens.
Is he a young guy or is he an older guy?
Let's take a look. He is 24 years old from the University of Maryland. This is his 2nd season, and he wears number.
And he wears number what? The only center I can think of from Maryland. Well, hold on. Let me name some players from Maryland. Spencer Anderson came from Maryland. Cullum came from Maryland. Who at center has came from Maryland? Do I know who this is though?
No.
No. Is he a rookie?
No, this is his 2nd year. I'm going to say this. I'm going to list his backups because they're equally not nameable. Jonathan Gwynn, Danny Pinter, and Nick Dawkins are his backups. I have not heard maybe
I've heard Danny Pinter. I've heard of Danny Pinter.
Maybe because he might have played for Detroit at some point.
I've heard of Danny Pinter. He's okay.
Oh, he played for the Colts last year. That's why.
Yeah, Danny Pinter was for the Colts.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Corey Bullock. Yeah, this guy sounds like he's a financier at Wall Street.
I will say I don't hate the Awane, Stanley, and Rosengarten. I just don't know what I'm getting from Simpson. Because Simpson wasn't good.
Simpson was one of the high points of the Jets last year. Again, there were only 5 high points.
He wasn't good in Baltimore before, though.
No. But here's the high points of the Jets. You ready? It was their left tackle, their left guard, their center, their right guard, and their right tackle. Because they played all 17 games. None of them missed a snap.
And their right guard is gone.
Tippmann?
Vera Tucker.
Well, Vera Tucker was hurt all year. He didn't even start that year. It was Tippmann at right guard. And then you had Josh Myers at center.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, Ravens. I think offensively, other than their O line, are going to be fine. It's just their
And the receiving core.
yeah. Okay, who did you have at 5?
I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, we will be able to talk about the Eagles next. So Philly, the conversation. Philly's my 4. So Philly, they got better? Question mark. They're going to be the same, and that same can get them to the Super Bowl, which is why they're at 4 for me and 5 for you. That can get you to the Super Bowl. It's just, is it going to get you to a Super Bowl easily?
Their issue with me last year was how inconsistent they were with an easy schedule.
Yeah.
They had a pretty easy schedule, and they were very inconsistent on both sides of the ball, too. I'm not even talking about, run game, pass game. I'm talking about defense, run game, and pass game. They were very inconsistent. And you lose your best, I'm not going to say your best receiver, but you lose your number 1 receiver, Devontae Smith. It's not a number 1. He's going to have to be the number 1.
Yeah.
But now you got a bunch of other guys. You got Dontavian Wicks. You're going to have, what's his name? The guy from, used to play for Washington. Can't think of his name.
Jahan Dotson.
And then you also got the Mekhi Lemon, who I think is going to be pretty decent. I just don't think he's that number 1 guy, like as a rookie or in his second year. Like I said, these guys, to me, if you play good in year 3 or you play good in year 1 and year 2, then I in year 3 I can be like, okay, you're number 1 guy. Devontae Smith, I don't think he's a number 1 guy just because the way he plays.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to have to be that number 1 guy. Now, no questions asked. And then I think Dontavian Wicks is your 3, and Mekhi Lemon is your 2. And they still got Dallas Goedert. So, I mean, I just worry about this offense just as a consistent. I do believe in you. I still think they've got the product to go to another Super Bowl and be good. But I just don't know how consistent this team's going to be offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I get it.
And number 4 for me is the Buffalo Bills. I'm a lot higher than them. I'm a lot higher on them than you are. I think Buffalo is just, like I said, I think they were 1 receiver away from possibly going to the Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they got him. They got DJ Moore. I think Josh Allen's going to love DJ Moore. And they'll utilize DJ Moore in so many ways. And Joe Brady's their head coach now. What's their OC? Joe Brady's going to figure out a way to use. I mean, Joe Brady's a good offensive coordinator. He is. He knows what plays to use for Josh Allen, and Josh Allen knows what to do to him. Their only issue for me right now is defense.
Yeah.
You hired Jim Leonard, who I haven't really seen a whole lot of experience from Jim Leonard. And they also losing a lot of guys. They lost a bunch of guys in the back end, and they lost probably their best corner in Taron Johnson
To the Raiders.
And then I think they also lost Epinesa, Bosa.
He's a free agent. Bosa's a free agent.
And they've also lost Milano as well. So who's also a free agent. So those losses, can they figure it out with a guy who's never been a defensive coordinator before? So can they figure that shit out? What's up, Patrick Willis? What's up? What's up? What's up, big boy?
Whoa.
Oh, he just got a sack. He just got a sack. He got a sack. He got a sack.
No, he doesn't. That thing got cut off the day I got him.
No, I said he got a sack, like a NFL sack.
Oh, NFL sack. My bad. I thought you were talking about a ball sack.
No,
like,
he got
that thing. That thing ain't ever been there. Well, it was there for about a year of his life.
All right, who's number 3 for you?
3, 2, 1. Well, 3 and 2. I'll go 3 and 2 here. It's Seattle and New England. I think for me those two are interchangeable, but for parity's sake, I went New England too. Both of these teams arguably got a little bit worse, but they both got really good quarterbacks. They both got really good defenses. They both got really good O-lines, other than Anthony Bradford. But so both of these teams are practically flawless. You've already aired your grievances about Seattle, but any team that's got Super Bowl champion Nick Emanwari on it,
That's our guy right there.
that's our boy.
The guy.
But yeah, those are my 2 and 3.
My 2 and 3. 3 is Denver and 2 is the New England Patriots. The reason I have Denver at 3 is last year they were Bo Nix away from going to a Super Bowl. They would have won that game with Bo Nix in the game. And people say, no, they wouldn't have. Bo Nix would have. No, they would have won that game if Bo Nix was in that football game because they could not complete a pass downfield. Bo Nix could at least possibly completed a pass downfield.
Yeah.
That would have helped a lot. And I look at what they're bringing back. I mean, they do need – I would say they need another receiver. They don't really have a guy to help Cortland Sutton that much, really. I still think they need that. I mean, they can go get some hell. They can go get Stephon Diggs if they really want to. If they really want to, they could. They can go get who else is available. I know there's another big name guy that's Keenan Allen. They can go get Keenan Allen if they want to too. Hell, but I really don't. I think it's just going to be leaned on that defense and what Vance Joseph can do with that defense. What he did last year was absolutely great, phenomenal. They had the best. They were the best turnover defense and the best sack defense last year in the NFL. I think they'll continue to do that as long as they all stay healthy. The run game to me, J.K. Dobbins, you're not even going to probably play but 4 games, and then it's going to go down to Harvey and the guy from Washington, Coleman. I think that's his name. Coleman. Jonah Coleman. I like Jonah Coleman. I think he's going to get the job done if he comes in and plays. But that was my biggest issue for them. I would have probably put them at 2 if it wasn't for the run game and the O-line being a little bit older. I put them at 3. And then New England, no need. They're the runner-up.
They were in the Super Bowl last year.
They're the runner-ups. They have one of the best defenses. They do have a harder schedule.
So they're going to have a brutal schedule this year.
I want to see how they play in that gauntlet. Especially, I mean, they have A.J. Brown now, but I still want to see how they play in that gauntlet because they had the easiest schedule last year, and they went all the way to the Super Bowl. If you can prove to people you can play in this gauntlet and go back to maybe the AFC Championship game, then you have my utmost respect. Yeah. You have my utmost respect.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I was gonna say we both have the same number 1. It's the LA Rams. You add Myles Garrett. You've got Trent McDuffie. You have not Keon White. You have and potentially from rumblings,
Aaron
Donald staring at that helmet like a Green Goblin mask. Like, do it. And honestly, I think he should at least come out for minicamp and at least get some weights up on the rack. But this team is scary. Offensively, they have the MVP. I mean, you have Puka Nacua when he's not biting people's catching 1,000-yard receiving seasons. They lost Tutu Atwell. They got Kenyatta Mumfield. I mean, you got Devontae Adams. You've brought in a lot of talent. My only issue with this team is their O-line is not. It's not.
Don't speak on that Rams though. Their O-line's pretty good.
Thing with the O-line, it's not optimized the way
they're pretty good though.
But it's not optimized.
The only 2 positions that I don't like on their offensive line is their right tackle and their center. That's
Warren McClendon is their right tackle, right?
Yes, and their center's Coleman Shelton.
But Coleman Shelton was the starter for the Bears 2 years ago. But before that, he was the starter for the Rams 3 years ago. And so he's a McVay guy. And so that's why he's there. But it won't matter anyway because the Rams could – well, honestly, they'll just trade for Aaron Brewer halfway through the season anyway.
Probably.
So, I mean, this team is going to win a Super Bowl this year. Unmistakably, this is going to be Stafford.
If they can stay healthy.
Stafford's going to walk out with that trophy. Devontae Adams is going to walk out with that trophy. And
Myles Garrett's finally going to get him one.
He's going to get that ring. And then he's going to get that bag. And then Jared Verse is going to not accept any options. He's going to come back to the Rams.
So I'm going to talk about the Rams.
Go ahead.
I mean, I look at who they brought in. I mean, they brought in David Quassenberry, who's not bad either. That can
Oh,
play
wow.
tackle. That can play tackle. If you didn't know that he was on the team, they just brought him. You can move him to right tackle, and now you have Quassenberry, Dotson, who's been probably their unsung hero on the offensive line, and then Steve Avila, who you really like, Coleman Shelton at center, and then Alaric Jackson, who they paying a lot of money for because he's really good too. That's a good old line to me right there. That's a pretty good old line. And then Jordan Whittington is their third guy, not Keontae Montfield. They like Jordan Whittington a whole lot. And they also brought in they drafted C.J. Daniels from Miami, so I'd like to see if they're going to put him in a couple of times too, because I mean he's a big threat, can catch the football. Their only concern to me on is really that I'm not going to say the whole defense. It's just a certain spot on that defense is what concerns me. We know they have Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Byron Young, and Myles Garrett. They also have Josiah Stewart as a backup as well. So we know that they're going to be good up there. They have Jalen Watson at corner, Cameron Kitchens, Jalen McCulloch at safety, Cam Curl also as the other starting safety, Trent McDuffie and Quentin Blake, and they also have Emmanuel Forbes as that backup, extra DB as well. So they're good there too. The issue with me and this team though is that middle linebacker spot, and I'm not sleeping on none of these two guys because I thought Omar Speights played phenomenal last year for the Rams. But I think if you want to show everybody that you are the top dog, I mean I know Myles Garrett shows you that you're the top dog, but if you want to show everybody that you're like unbeatable, go get a guy that's a free agent that we know who's been there before and probably wouldn't mind winning the last ring in his last hoorah in Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Just someone, he don't even have to be, every down guy. He just got to give him the green dot and just be like, okay, this is what we going to call. He going to call the play, move everybody around because he's brilliantly smart. Bobby Wagner is brilliantly smart. Go get a guy like Bobby Wagner to help you at least just for that spot right there. And then you can have Omar Speights be the fly around guy. Not sleeping on Nate Landman either. I don't think none of them are going to be able to do what a veteran linebacker can do, like Bobby Wagner. If they could somehow go get Bobby Wagner and bring Aaron Donald back, their defense would be the best defense in football, no matter what, either way, regardless, even if they don't get Bobby Wagner or Aaron Donald. But I just think that their biggest hole is that linebacker spot and maybe that nickel spot because I'm not too high on Quentin Lake and I'm not too high on Emmanuel Forbes. But can they get – they'll get it done because
– yeah, they will.
They'll get it done. The linebacker spot, I don't know if they will get done, though, consistently. So that's the only issue for me. If they can go get Bobby Wagner. I don't know who else is another good – Milano, maybe. Matt Milano. I don't know who's a – I know Bobby Wagner's a free agent linebacker, but they just need somebody in that middle to help them.
Milano's still on the Bills.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are you looking up free agent middle? Probably only Bobby. Really?
Free agent linebacker. Bobby Okereke.
Oh, that would be a good one too. But he's not a veteran.
Logan Wilson, Murray. No way. Hang on. Some of these guys definitely flip and sign. Hang on. Wait a minute. Because I'm looking at like freaking Devin Bush is on here. He's definitely signed with the Bears. So hang on.
Okereke hasn't signed yet, though. I mean, if you're the Rams, I'm looking at Okereke and Bobby Wagner right now, though, if anything. Because you just need a guy that can call the signals. Okereke, I wouldn't really say he would call the signals. I would really say, I mean, he's going to get the green dot because he's going to be the best linebacker. But I wouldn't say he's the guy that is the movement. I'd say Bobby Wagner is the movement guy because he can call the signals and call the plays. Bobby Okereke is one of those fly around, I'm going to hit you in the mouth and you're not going to get up type of guys. He's like a Patrick Willis type of guy. He's going to hit you in the mouth and you're not going to get back up.
Let's see. This was from a couple days ago.
Why don't you just look on Spotrac?
Yeah, Okereke, Josie Jewell, Jermaine Pratt, Eric Kendricks. Yeah,
Bobby
no,
Wagner.
Devin
Bobby
White.
Wagner. Bobby Wagner.
It is. Hang on.
Are you on Spotrac?
Hang on. Oh no. Milano is a free agent. Yep.
I was getting ready to say. I saw him as a free agent.
Huh. He might retire though. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, he's a veteran guy that is smart that I would bring in if you're the Rams. Him, Wagner, Okereke, and the other guy that I would maybe.
Jermaine Pratt wouldn't be terrible.
The other guy is Jermaine Pratt because all you gotta do is have him be boom, 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 and then he just sit there, boom. That's all you got. Bobby Wagner gonna do that, but Bobby Wagner gonna hit somebody. That's what I'm saying. Okereke gonna hit somebody, and then Milano's just gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna hit nobody, but I'm just gonna stay here and do nothing. You don't have to though. You don't have to. All you got to do is just direct the traffic. But yeah, I think that's our number one. I'm ready for the NFL season. I'm ready to see.
It's coming up soon, man. A couple more months.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready for this first preseason game, though.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be insane. I'm ready for my football season too.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ready to see if Tennessee is going to start the first white quarterback since 2009.
Nah, Brandon's gonna win the job.
Oh, no, I already know. That's crazy though that Tennessee hasn't had a white quarterback since 2009.
I mean,
the last white starting quarterback was Tyler Bray. That's crazy.
I mean, well, you just in this age of college football, you either start the best guy now. You no longer start the guy because of seniority. You have to start the best guy because the best guy's going to leave you in the portal.
Yeah, but you would think that you would have Tennessee would go after at least one.
Brandon Faison Brandon, or whatever the hell his name is. He might start this season and then still leave because he just wants to. Like this is.
I don't think he'll leave. He's too invested into Tennessee football.
You say that. You say that. You honest to God, you can say that. But when he gets slid a couple milli from Alabama or from Ohio State or from Oregon or from Indiana, and they're like, "You want to come play for us?" Yeah. So.
Well, I'll also look at Tennessee's schedule. They got a gauntlet ahead of them.
They do. Bama, South Carolina,
LSU, Texas A&M.
Yep.
At least they don't got to play Georgia.
Yeah, that's always.
But they do have to go to the Swamp.
Yeah, they'll win in the Swamp though, because who's the starting quarterback for Florida now?
It's Philo, I think. They went Aaron Philo.
Terrible.
I think, or no, they went with the black dude. I don't know his name. They went that black dude now. I think they like him the best over Philo.
Nope, it's him or Trammell Jones, but it looks like it's gonna be Philo.
Probably gonna be Philo.
But I think that's it for us from today.
Yep. Inside the Cage. I'm Brady Johnson. Here with me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the brother of Cowboys tight end, Jake Ferguson, who's probably going to be really good this year for the Cowboys.
Maybe.
As he always is, usually. But that's it. Peace.